I'm joined by Darryl Cohen. He's a criminal defense attorney now. He's a former assistant district attorney from Fulton County. All right, Darryl, I'm trying to get everything straight here, with what exactly Fani Willis proposed. So we've got Kenneth Chesebro asking for a speedy trial. She is asking for a trial. It appears for him for the judges said for him it could be the 23rd of October. Everybody else potentially the 24th. How's this going to play out? Right? Obviously, this is Chesebro that asked for the speedier trial. Fani Willis is like, great, okay, here we go. What should we be looking for next?
I think you need to look at a lot of roadside bombs. I don't see this happening in October. I don't see it happening in September. The fact that they filed for a speedy trial surprises me, but every lawyer has his or her different view of how things need to go. But there's no way, in my view, that the majority of these defendants are going to have a trial way before next year. It'll be next year or the year after. It's just too big. It's too voluminous.
Right.
There are too many different types of motions that can be filed. And every lawyer has his or her client, and some clients have two or more lawyers,
right.
And none of them are going to agree on everything. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, but if he wants a speedy trial, could she have to separately try him first while everything else? Walk me through that.
It's possible. The judge could sever him or take his case away from the other cases and try just the cases that he's charged with, the various indictments, the numbers. I don't see it happening, but I'm not the judge, and I cannot get into the judge's head or into the lawyers that represent him or into Fani's, into the prosecutor's heads. If she tries him first, that will certainly give all of the other defendants an opportunity to see what the cards are on the table. They'll be turned over as opposed to hidden.
So she doesn't want to sever this either, correct?
That would be my guess. My guess is Fani would like to try all of these cases together at the same time, so no one has the opportunity of getting a break and seeing what's going on. All
right, but you have a right to a speedy trial. And
absolutely.
Chesebro has this right to ask for it. He's asking for it. We've already heard Trump may ask to sever from Chesebro. Now, how would that work?
If Trump tries to sever from Chesebro, more likely than not, he would try to sever from all of the other defendants. And that is going to be a nightmare if one or more of these cases against Trump or the major players in this case have their cases severed. It could go on, these trials could go on ad infinitum from here till the end of time and maybe beyond.
So you don't expect this judge, you don't expect the severing to succeed, do you?
Not with Trump. I do not. I don't know.
What about with Chesebro?
I don't know enough about what he is trying to do or why he's trying to do it, unless he's trying to say, separate me from all these people. I'm innocent. They're guilty. That's the only thing I can say.
He'd have to flip. What you're saying is...
Not necessarily.
No? Okay.
Not necessarily flip. But he could say, show me the facts. Let's go to trial. Bring it on, District Attorney's Office, because I'm innocent. They may not be. The facts against them are far worse than they are against me. That may be what he's trying to say. So he's not brought down by all of the charges, because if there is testimony, witnesses, 1, 2, 10, whatever number of witnesses there may be, if he or she testifies about one person that's in that courtroom and the testimony is really difficult to absorb, really tough against that defendant, then all of the defendants will feel like they're going to go down and they'll be sinking with an anchor attached to their heads, not just their feet, but to their heads.
So, all right. Who decides whether this gets severed or not? Is this all in the power of the current judge, or will this get appealed? If this judge says no or yes, whatever decision the judge makes, is there a place to appeal that decision?
Absolutely. There's the Georgia Court of Appeals. And then if the ruling goes against whoever it goes against, they can then go to the Supreme Court, who has the right, the Georgia Supreme Court,
Correct.
who has the right to say yes or no, concur or no. And that in itself will take time. It's very unusual for that to be something that takes place very quickly.
So let me just wrap up here. What Cheeseborough has done by asking for this severing, is it created more of a problem for Fani Willis or more of a problem for Donald Trump?
I think more of a problem for Donald Trump, because Trump doesn't want this to happen quickly. Trump wants this to go on and have his lawyers, all the other lawyers, put this case off for whatever reason, by filing motions and appealing the motions if they are overruled. But on the other hand, Cheeseborough wants to get it done, get it over with, get it done quickly, apparently, because I think he's saying that I'm not these people. I happen to be with them, but I need to get away from them. I'm not part of this. Leave me alone.
Darryl Cohen, a former assistant district attorney for Fulton County, so really knows how this process works in and out, currently a criminal defense attorney. Appreciate you coming on and being our expert today.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.